Okay, so today's file has been saved in a folder called session functions, functions.html. Just replace that. And that folder has got three subfolders: CSS, images, and scripts. So we have seen CSS subfolders, we have seen images subfolders. Thanks. And we have seen today we are going to make a scripts folder. So all of our JS file, when the script is within the HTML, you can, like for example, when the CSS is within the HTML, all you do is you just put style tags, right? You just put style tags for an internal style. For an external style, you go link relationship equals style sheet, and you go ahref, and you give a link to it, isn't it? So we don't need that. We don't need. You can put your styles later on. Today we are going to embed a script. So usually you have script script, and you have slash script. So today we are going to say script source is equal to. Okay, and I'm just going to go type equals text JavaScript. Not needed anymore. Not needed. But today I'm going to say source is equal to, and I'll just make a new JavaScript file and link it. So if I say file, I can say okay, function1.js. Can't think of a name right now. That's a bad thing. I should be able to have a name that's relevant. Now where is this sitting? This is actually sitting in the scripts folder. Not yet, but scripts folder function1.js. Or you can do, to be actually correct, what you can do is you can just make a new JavaScript file. But be careful when you do it, your default extension changes to JavaScript. I'm going to save this in the script as functions1.js. And if you do it that way, then look at this. If you say quote, you can go to browse and say browse to this fellow, and you get the right one. Does that make sense? If you have the document toolbars on, then any file that is linked to this file, you don't have to have multiple files open. I don't need the JS file, I've just closed it. But see here, I can switch between the JavaScript file and the source code. If I had a CSS file, I can switch between that. And when we start using libraries, you'll see that there are 50 files linked to one file. You know. So let's have a quick look at functions. So now my JavaScript sits here. What happens many times is people write the script here and then link it externally, like CSS, you know, we copied it and pasted it in a separate CSS file. But let's see if it works. So let's go to JavaScript and say alert, hello, I am an external file. And if I was to run this, hello, I'm an external file. So although my script is sitting outside, it's working. Because why did I do that? Because I need to know that this link is solid. Otherwise, I go and write my whole program and I realize there's something wrong with my link in the first place. But now I know my link is solid. So now we are only going to, now because it's linked, you see I don't need all of this. I can just work here. Cool? That makes sense? Smart thing to do, link it to an external file. Questions before I continue? No? So this line is linking function1.js to this code. All good? Big nod from Alessandro there. That means I can continue. Okay, let's go to functions. We have seen things like this. Document.write. Hello, Dalip. Hello, Mr. Bond. That's a simple output statement. It says there's an error because I did not close my string. So we have seen something like this. We have seen something like okay, so I've got this paragraph. I'll just put a BR there, BR tag, so we have some line breaks. If I run this, hello Mr. Bond, welcome to Dragon Island, yes I am Zora. Now suppose the next day Seamus goes to that island and the robot or the cyborg or the alien comes out and he wants to say the same thing. Hello Mr. Seamus, welcome to Dragon Island. Here all the enemies of Zorba die. They are consumed by Drake the Snake. Within 2 minutes again, Angel goes. It has to repeat something again and again. Then you need to change this whole thing. Do this. Do this. You see that? So a function is something that helps you in doing this. In repeating something by writing it only once and repeating it many times. How does it work? Understand the concept of a function. Don't type. I'll give you time to type. Don't type the code. Try to understand this correctly. How does it work? Because this is the most important thing you will do. So don't type for the next few minutes. Understand it and I'll leave it up. If I put this under something called function greeting, and you must have known that whenever we use alert we have brackets, whenever we use prompt we have brackets. So whenever we use pre-built functions, they're brackets. So when you define your own, you have brackets. And I'll show you in a minute why. Function greeting, begin, end. Now some programmers like this. This is accepted, but as a beginner keep it this way because you can see your brackets. This bracket goes with this bracket, okay? Function greeting. I've put it in a function. Now if I call it, now this G is capital, okay? The G is capital. If I call greeting once, I expect to see this once. If I call it twice, I see it twice. If I call it thrice, so all of you use Illustrator so far and you know there's a shape tool. Every time you call the shape tool, it draws a shape for you. But you can change certain attributes of the shape. Now tell me here, what's the problem with this message? Every single time the greeting is addressed to, and we would like it to be addressed to second time to Seamus, third time to Angel, whoever is coming to the island. Understand this very clearly now, how we manage it. This is, if you understand this, you will be able to learn programming in any language. You will be able to move to any language. Look at this. You guys have learned something in programming with me, which allows us to change that. What can we use? When we take input from a user, where do we store it? Somebody? Variable. Thank you. Thank you. Don't hesitate. Yep. He's being too nice. He's giving you guys a chance, but variable is the right answer. So now if I, and you know variable we don't put here. Suppose I had a variable Mr. Name. I can't put it. It will be addressed to Mr. Name every time. But the way we do it is we go Mr. and then we go plus name, right? Now, if I put name here, name, okay, and I say greeting. Now, name is actually a string, right? It's a string of characters. It's not an integer. I can say, because it's a string, I have to put in quotes, greeting, Pawn, greeting, Seamus, greeting, Angel. Dilip has done a good job. He's planning to retire, so he's thinking I'll go to Zorba Islands and die as well. Greetings, Dilip. Now, what do we expect to see? I would like this to be a P here and a slash P here. So that becomes a bit of a paragraph. Now let's see. Hello, Mr. Bond. Oh, I need a full stop. Come on. After the name, I'm going to put a plus, a full stop, and a space. Now that should work. And a break tag, of course. So now that should be better. Hello, Mr. Bond. Welcome to Dragon Island. Hello, Mr. Seamus. Hello, Mr. Angel. Hello, Mr. Dilip. The same code using this value, whatever I pass, if I pass this, it goes here and then it comes here. How many of you understood it? 100%. How many of you can see how powerful this thing is? Can you see the power of it? Now, suppose the person is going to die, so they don't care what island I call it. So next time a person comes, I won't call it Dragon Island. I'll call it island name. Island name. Welcome to plus island name plus and quotes. So that's a string plus variable name plus thing. So now each time I can pass two things, right? Name and island name. So Mr. Bond, I'm going to call it Dragon. Oh, no, sorry. Bond is one string and Dragon is the second string. So for Seamus, now if you remember when we called prompt, there were two parameters. One was give me a number, and then we had a comma, and then we could say what number they should give, a hint. Give me a name, we could say comma, and then in the quotes we could say Joe Smith, you know. There were two parameters, so we're having two parameters. To Seamus, I'll call it, Seamus, what island would you like to die on? Give me a name.
Huff Island. Just Huff. No name, B Island.
No name, B Island.
Just THE.
THE. Welcome to the island. Angel. Treasure Island. He wants to die rich. Okay. Dilip. Okay. Dilip will go to Dama Island. Dama Island. Okay. Good morning, Miles. Okay. You missed the fun. You'll have to look at the video. So now you see there are two parameters being passed. When I call my function greeting, I can give it a name and an island name. So the message will be different for each one. Okay, Mr. Bond, welcome to Dragon Island. Mr. Seamus, welcome to the island. Mr. Angel, welcome to Treasure Island. R.L. Stevenson, was it the book? Yeah. Tama Island. Now, because island is being repeated, what we can do is we can actually say island is a part of the function. Okay, so all we have to say is dragon. This is treasure. You see, anything that's repeated can go here. Now you can see Dragon Island, the island, Treasure Island. So this function here, greeting, this little bit of a function, each time it is repeated with a different parameters. Those parameters go in here, whatever goes here sits here and it comes out because document.write. Okay, I'll stop the video here and we'll do some question answers.